My dear children, how are you? I hope you are fine. You are going to write your unit test 2. This is the name of the exam. Unit test 2 examination. Okay. And what is your exam question for unit test 2? For the subject maths, you have to revise chapter 4 parts and wholes. Chapter 6 be my multiple, I will be your factor. And chapter 10, 10th and 100. These three are your unit test 2 portions. Okay. For that, you have to revise the sums in your as well as both classwork and homework. Okay. You have to practice all the sums in your classwork and homework regarding these chapters. Okay. And see here, this is your question pattern. You are totally writing the exam for 25 marks. Okay. Choose some for 3 marks. 3 into 1, 3 marks. And fill-ups, 3 marks. 3 into 1, 3 marks. And 2 marks you are going to write 5 questions. So 5 into 2, 10 marks. And 3 marks you are going to write 3 questions. So 3 into 3, 9. So totally 25 marks you are going to write unit test 2. Okay. So I wishing all the students to get the full mark in the unit test 2. Okay. All the best students. First we are going to revise the chapter parts and wholes. Okay, in these chapters we have mainly discussed about the concept of fractions and its type. Okay, let us revise that concept. Okay, see here children, here we have one shape. In that shape they are divided into parts. How many parts there are totally? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Totally we have 6 parts. Okay, among these 6 parts, how many parts are shaded? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 parts are shaded. Thus, to represent this situation, we are using the number like this 4 by 6. Thus, we calling this such number as fractions. What is the definition of fractions? Fraction is a part of a whole. Fraction is a part of a whole. The whole may be either a single object or a collection of objects. See here, this is a single object. This single object is divided into some parts. Okay, thus we are defining the fraction as a fraction is a part of a whole. The whole may be either a single or a collection object. Okay, collection of object. Okay. Next we are going to discuss some types of fractions. First we are going to see proper fractions and then improper fraction and then mixed fraction. Okay. What is meant by proper fraction? If the numerator is smaller than the denominator, then we call it as a proper fraction. What is meant by improper fraction? If the numerator is bigger than the denominator, it is said to be improper fraction. And what is meant by mixed fraction? A whole number along with a proper fraction is said to be a mixed fraction. See here children, I have drawn a doll for you to understand the concept of proper, improper and mixed. See here, this is a picture of doll. See here, the head of the doll is very small and its body looks big. That is, numerator is smaller than the denominator. Do you understand? Numerator is smaller than the denominator. The body looks very big and head look very small. Such type of situation is said to be proper fraction. That is, if the numerator is less than the denominator, we call it as a proper fraction. See here, 1 by 2, 3 by 7, 5 by 10. These are the examples for proper fraction. See here, see the next dot. The head looks so big than its body. Think the head as a numerator and body as a denominator. See this picture. The head looks too big than its body. So in this type of situation we are calling as a improper fraction. That is, what is mean by improper fraction? The numerator is bigger than its denominator. See the example 17 by 2. 17 is bigger than 2. Similarly 20 by 3. 56 by 3. Do you understand children? Next we are going to see mixed fraction. What is meant mixed fraction? A whole number along with compulsory, listen children, along with proper fraction. The proper, it should be a proper fraction. It should not be a improper fraction. A whole number along with proper fraction is said to be mixed fraction. See the example 1, 2 by 3. What is the whole part here? 1. What is the fraction part? 2 by 3. 2 by 3 is a proper fraction because the numerator is less than its denominator. See the next example, 2, 4 by 5. This is an example for mixed fraction. I hope you have understood the concept of fractions as well as proper fraction, improper fraction and mixed fraction. Keep all these things in your mind. Okay. Next we are going to see another types of fraction, like fractions and then unlike fractions. What is meant by like fractions? If the fractions having same denominator, then we call it as a like fraction. See here children, here I have drawn some picture. See here, think that the upper shape should be the numerator and the bottom shape should be the denominator. Okay, see here in the numerator we have the diamond, in the denominator we have circle. See, all the denominator are circle in shape, but the numerator are different shape. Here we have the square, here we have the half moon, here we have the rectangle. Thus, the numerator are different, but observe the denominator. All the denominator are same. So, such type of situation we are refer as like fractions. So, what is meant by like fractions? If the fractions having the same denominator, we call it as a like fraction. See here, 2 by 13. 3 by 13, 7 by 13, 5 by 13. What are the denominators? 13, 13, 13. All the denominators are same. So, such type of fractions are said to be like fractions. Do you understand, children? Okay. Next, we are going to revise the concept unlike fraction. See the picture. What is meant by unlike fraction? The opposite to the like is unlike. Fractions having the different denominator, we call them as a unlike fraction. See here, in the denominator we have the circle, here we have the triangle, here we have the rectangle, here we have the half moon. Similarly, the numerator also different or maybe the same. Whatever be the numerator, you don't worry about the numerator. You have to concentrate on the denominator only. What is meant by unlike fractions? Fractions having different denominator are said to be unlike fractions. Fractions having different denominators are said to be unlike fractions. See the example, 4 by 5 by 3, 4 by 15, 2 by 7, 1 by 2. Observe the denominator. All are different from each other. So we call these fractions as unlike fraction. I hope you have find the difference between the like fractions and unlike fractions very well. Okay. Next we are moving to the next type of fraction, equivalent fraction. It is a very important types of fraction, equivalent fractions. What is meant by equivalent fractions? Listen carefully, children. Fractions having different numerator and denominator but are equal to same value are said to be equivalent fractions. Fractions have different numerator and denominator. Fractions have the different numerator as well as the denominator, but they are equal to the same value. Such type of fractions are said to be equivalent fractions. See here children, 1 by 2, 2 by 4, 3 by 6. We are saying these fractions as equivalent fractions. Why we are saying these fractions as equivalent fractions? See here, first we have 1 by 2 and second we have 2 by 4. Now I am going to cancel the 2 and 4 by using the 2 table. So 1 2 is 2, 2 2s are 4. Thus we got 1 by 2 as in the first fraction. Similarly, see the third fraction 3 by 6. Now I am going to cancel both the numerator and denominator by using the 3 table. So 1 3 is 3. That is 1 3 is 3 is 3. 2 3s are 6. So here we have to write the times. So 1 3 is 3. 2 3s are 6. Again we got the 1 by 2. Thus, though the denominator are different, numerator and denominator are different, they gave the same value, that is 1 by 2. Such fractions are said to be equivalent fractions. Do you understand, children? Very good. Next we are going to do the sum based on the concept equivalent fractions. Okay. See the question. Write 3 equivalent fractions of 2 by 7. In the question, what is the given fraction? 2 by 7. We are going to write the 3 equivalent fractions for 2 by 7. Okay. To write the equivalent fractions, we may choose any number. You have to start with first 2. Okay, after that 3, 4, 5. You can choose any 3 number or your convenience. Okay. I am choosing the number first 2 and then 3 and then 4. You have to multiply the given fraction both numerator and denominator by the number. First you have to write like this 2 by 7 which is equal to 2 by 7 into. Here you have to multiply the numerator and denominator by 2. I have chosen the number 2. Okay, to get the equal fraction of 2 by 7 we are doing like this. Okay, next you have to multiply the numerator and the denominator. So 2 2s are 4. 7 2s are 14. Thus we got one equal fractions of 2 by 7. Okay. Next 2 by 7 you have to write like this. Next I am choosing the number different from 2. So I am choosing the number 3. Now you have to multiply the numerator as well as the denominator by 3. So 3 2s are 6. 7 3s are 21. Thus we got one more equal fraction of 2 by 7, that is 6 by 21. Next I have chosen the number 4. So you have to multiply both numerator and denominator by 4. So 2 4s are 8, 7 4s are 28. Thus we got 3 equal fractions of given number 2 by 7, that is given fraction. So you have to write like this. First you have to write the given fraction 2 by 7. Definitely you have to put the equal symbol because we are writing the equivalent fractions. So don't worry, you definitely have to write here equal symbol only. So equal 4 by 14 equal to 6 by 21 equal to 8 by 28. See here children, what is the definition of equivalent fractions? Fractions have different numerator and denominator but are equal to same value. See here, fractions having different numerator and denominator but all these fractions are equal to the same value 2 by 7. Such fractions are said to be equal fractions. Do you understand children? Okay. You have to read the multiplication table up to 15th table. Okay. And also practice all the sums here rough note repeatedly until you thorough that sum. Okay. Next children, we are going to revise the chapter 6. Be my multiple, I will be your factor. Okay. In this chapter, what are the concepts we have discussed? Multiples, factors and common factors. Okay. These are the concepts we have discussed in this chapter and also addition of larger numbers. Okay. These are the concepts we have discussed in this chapter. Okay. First we are going to discuss about multiples. How can you write the multiples of a given number? By multiplying the given number by the natural number. What are the natural number? 1, 2, 3 like that. You get the answer of the multiples of a given number. For example, write first 10 multiples of 6. How can you write the first 10 multiples of 6? You have to multiply the 6 by 1 first. So 1 into 6, 6. Next you have to multiply the 6 by 2. So 2 6 are 12. Similarly you have to multiply the 6 by next natural number. What are the natural number? 1, 2, 3, 4 etc. are called natural numbers. So by multiplying the given number by the natural number, you can write the multiples of a given number. In the question they are asking first 10 multiples. So you have to write the first 10 multiples of 6. So multiples of 6 are 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42, 48, 54 and 60. These are the first 10 multiples of 6. Okay. Next we are moving to the concept common multiples. How can you write the common multiples of given two numbers? Okay. In that question they are specifying you have to write any 4 common multiples of given numbers are 2, 5 and 10. Okay. You have to write 4 common multiples of 5 and 10. For this sum, first you have to write the multiples of 5 and then you have to write the multiples of 10 and then you have to find out the common multiples. Okay. See here children, multiples of 5 are 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45 like that you have to write. Okay. As we did in this sum. Similarly, you have to write the multiples of 10. So, what are the multiples of 10? 1 10 is 10, 2 10s are 20. Like that, you have to write the multiples of 10. Thus, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, etc. These are the multiples of 10. We have to find the common. Common means the number should come in both the multiples of 5 as well as the multiples of 10. So you have to find out what are the number comes in both the multiples. See here, first here 5, here we don't have 5 because all the multiples of 10 ends with 0 only. Okay, so here we have the 10, here also we have the 10, here we have the 20, here also we have the 20, here we have the 30, here also we have the 30, here we have the 40, here also we have the 40, here also we have the 50, here also we have the 50. But in the question they are asking only the 4 common multiples. So you have to round only the 4 common multiples. See here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Thus we have found out the 4 common multiples of 510. So you have to write the answer as common multiples of 510 are 10, 20, 30 and 40. These are the common multiples of 510. That is 4 common multiples of 510. Okay. Next we are going to see the concept factors. What is mean by factor? If a number divide a given number without remainder, we can say that number as a factor of a given number. Suppose 6 is the given number. I am dividing the 6 by 2. 3 2s are 6, so our remainder is 0. So we can call 2 as a factor of 6. Also we can call 3 as a factor of 6. This is the concept of factor. Okay. In the question they are asking you have to write all the factors of the given number. So what is the given number? Write all the factors of 36. So you have to write all the factors of 36. How do you find the factors of 36? By writing the 36 as a product of some other numbers, we can easily find all the factors of the given number. So first step for all the sums, you have to write the given number as a product with 1. That is 1 into 36. Okay, this is the first step common to all the sums of finding factors. So next step is you have to check whether it is written as the multiple of 2. Thus it is an even number, so you can write as a multiple of 2. Thus 2 into 18, 2 into 18 you get the answer 36. Similarly you can also write it as a 36 as a multiple of 3. So 3 into 12. But 36 ends with 6, so it should not be a multiple of 5. So we go to the next number 6. So we are writing with 6 into 6. Similarly 4 into 9 plus 1, 2, 3, 4. It is not a multiple of 5. So we left the number 5 and then 6. These are the only possible way of writing 36 as a multiple of some other numbers. Thus 36 equal to 1 into 36. This is one of the possible way. Similarly 36 equal to 2 into 18. This is the next way. Similarly 3 into 12, 4 into 9, 6 into 6. Thus we have finished all the possible way of writing the 36 as the multiple of some other numbers. Okay. Now we are going to write all the factors of 36. While you are writing the factors of 36, you must follow the ascending order. Ascending order means small to big. First you have to write the smaller number. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we have 6 two times, but in the answer you have to write 6 one time. So 6, 9, 12, 18, 36. These are the factors of 36. Totally how many factors you have, children? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Thus 36 have totally 9 factors. Do you understand, children? Okay. Next we are moving to the concept adding large number. In your question paper definitely you have the sums based on adding large number and subtraction of large number. So thorough these two concepts very well. Okay. See here, children, in the question they have given 76 plus. How can you read this number? Ones, tens, 100. 1000, 10,000. So 94,787. See here. First you have to place the first comma after the 3 digit. 1, 2, 3. After that 2 digit. Thus 4,50,306. Similarly 64,875. Now you have to add these large numbers. How can you add these large numbers? You know the concept of addition very well. The only difficult thing here is you have to write the digit as in their correct place value. See here, how do you write the 76? Don't write the 76 here. Okay, you have to start to write 76 from the ones place. See here I have written the place value as in the Indian system of numeration. What are the place value? Ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, lakhs, 10 lakhs, crores, 10 crores. These are the place value as in the Indian system. First you have to write the 6 in ones place. Thus 6, 7. If the remaining place which you want means, if you need means, you may add zeros or leave it simply. Okay. Next, how can you write this number? You have to write the number 7 in the place of ones and then 8 in the place of tens. 7 in the place of hundreds. Similarly, you have to write the remaining numbers. Do you understand, children? See the next number. How can you write this? 6, 0, 3, 0, 5, 4. See what is the last number? 5, 7, 8, 4, 6. Now you have to add this number. If you add this number, I have written already the answer. So you get the answer like this. How can you read this number? 6 lakh 10,044. So while you are adding the large number, the only thing you have to listen is you should maintain the digit in their corresponding place value. Do you understand? See here, how can you multiply the numbers ending with 0? I have told already, you know the concept very well, but once again we are revising this concept. So first step is you have to forget the zeros and then you have to multiply the remaining values. What are the remaining values? 7 and 3. 7 3s are 21. Next you have to add all the zeros you have strike out. How many zeros you have strike out? 1, 2, 3, 4. So you have to add 4 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you understand? After that you have to place the comma after the first 3 digit and then next to 2 digit, 3 digit and then every 2 digit you have to place the comma as per the Indian system of numeration. Okay. So how can I read this? Ones, tens, 100, 1,000, 10,000, lakh. So 2 lakh, 10,000. Do you understand? See the next sum. So first step you have to strike out the 0 and then you have to multiply the given values. What are the given values? 6 and 4. So 6 4s are 24 and then you have to add the remaining zeros. How many zeros you have to add? 1, 2, 3, 4. So you have to add 4 zeros. Okay. And then you have to place the comma after that 3 digit and then every 2 digits. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So 2 lakh 40,000 is your answer. Do you understand, children? Okay. Next we are going to revise the chapter 10th and 100. It is very easy chapter. In this chapter we have discussed units of length. Okay. What are the units of length? Millimeter, centimeter, meter and kilometer. Also we have learned the conversions formula between these units. What are the conversion formula? 1 kilometer equal to 1000 meter. 1 meter equal to 100 centimeter. 1 centimeter equal to 10 millimeter. These are very important formula. Definitely you have the 1 mark question based on these 3 conversion formulas. So remember these formulas, children. 1 kilometer equal to 1000 meter. 1 meter equal to 100 centimeter. 1 centimeter equal to 10 millimeter. Okay. Among these units, which is the highest unit? Kilometer, after that meter, after that centimeter, after that millimeter. So millimeter is the lowest unit and kilometer is the highest unit. In the problems we are converting the higher units to the lower unit. So in order to convert the higher unit to the lower unit, you have to use the operation multiplication. Do you understand, children? In order to convert the higher unit to the lower unit, you have to follow the operation multiplication. If you convert the lower unit to higher unit, you have to follow the operation division. Okay, we will see it later. See here we are converting higher unit to lower unit, so you have to use the operation multiplication. For converting kilometer to meter, you have to multiply the given value by 1000. Why? 1 kilometer equal to 1000 meter. That's why we are multiplying the value given in the kilometer. To convert into meter, we are multiplying it by 1000. Similarly, to convert the values from meter to centimeter, you have to multiply it by 100. Similarly, to convert the centimeter to millimeter, you have to multiply the given value by 10. Do you understand, children? See the sums. convert the following measures. You have to convert these values into the following measures. See here, what is the first one? 13 kilometer. They asked to convert the kilometer into meter. We know the conversion formula. 1 kilometer equal to 1000 meter. So you have to multiply the given value by the 1000. So 13 into 1000. So what is your answer? How can you multiply? You have to first strike out the 0 and then multiply the value. 1 3 is 3, 1 1 is 1, and then next add 3 zeros. Thus we have converted the kilometer into meter value by multiplying the given value by 1000. Do you understand? After the 3 digit you have to place the number. Do you understand, children? Okay. Next, see the next sum. 5 meter equal to dash centimeter. That is, you have to convert the meter into centimeter. For that, you have to multiply the given value by 100. So 5 into 100. So what is the value 5 into 100? It is very easy. So 500 centimeter. Thus, we have converted meter into centimeter. Similarly, see the last one. 21 centimeter equal to dash millimeter. To convert centimeter into millimeter, you have to convert the value by 10. So 21 into 10, your answer is 210 millimeter. But in your exam paper, you have to follow the steps as in the maths class report. Okay, don't follow this step. This is for revision purpose. I have written like this. Okay. So children, what are the instructions you are following? You have to follow in the examinations are, you have to also revise the subtraction of large number, children. You must use the blue ink pen to write the answer and write the answer neatly, children. And for your rough purpose, you have to definitely use the pencil. For the neat sum, you have to definitely write the rough work. Okay. If the sums did not have rough work, means definitely I will reduce the mark. Okay. So write the rough work definitely. Next, you don't cut the steps. You have to do the sum elaborately. Okay, revise all the sum very well and give your best in the unit test 2 examination. God bless you, children. Thank you.